I can't do it.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reggie Mathis, and rocking with me is my brother, Wild Man Teddy T, a.k.a. Baron Theo Mound-builder.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
Space.
Ooh, yes.
The final frontier.
Madland.
I don't know about you, man, but I was a big Trekkie. I wasn't no Star Wars fan. I ain't like no Battlestar Galactica. None of that. I was a Captain Kirk fan. Star Trek. And so we got our own version of Star Trek going on right now, where we have sent a manned aircraft, to orbit the moon, which we have not done in over 50 years. Now, they're not going to land, but they're going actually further than any human has ever gone before, which means they're going to actually go around the moon, which no one has ever done. To go beyond the moon. And the interesting thing is, when I've been watching everything that's going on, is that the way they're going to do it is it's like a slingshot effect. And that slingshot effect is they have to get out of the Earth's atmosphere, which means
pull.
Exactly, which means the Earth's gravitational pull, and then get to the point where they get into the moon's gravitational pull, which they haven't done before, but I guess they've had so many experiments that they feel extremely confident that they're going to be able to do it. And so thus far, it appears that way. We're starting to get images and videos of the Earth that have not been seen, in 50 years. Like I sent some of the images of all the planets, which was dope. I mean, Jupiter, bruh, is beautiful. And I thought Mercury, growing up, when they give you the planets or whatever, how they have it, the solar system, and it's like, I thought Mercury was the red planet. But in those images that they have, it's not red.
Mostly blue.
Yeah, mostly blue. But Jupiter, man, it's a whole lot going on there, bro. It looked like a bunch of oceans.
Jupiter is serious.
It's a bunch of serious. So Steph got some stuff. Let's see what they're talking about as far as what's going on here in the Ask Mathis, man. We give y'all a little change of pace from time to time, man. As our past guest told us, Russell Simmons, man, get off your block. Get off your block, man. Don't live in a segregated world, in a segregated society. Take chances, Get interested in this stuff, bro. Because we don't want to be the ones left behind.
Re-entry. Then all eyes are going to be on the Orion stack up here, starting with the service module down below the crew capsule there. Absolute powerhouse. It will give water and nitrogen and oxygen and so much more to the crew up above, including electricity from these big solar arrays out here. Now, at times you may see this whole thing rotating up there in space. There are various reasons that may happen, but one of them is to try to even out the temperature a little bit, because on the hot side, this can be very, very hot, and on the shady side, very, very
hot.
cold.
They're talking about
a lot going on there. The service module.
And then when they're talking about on the other side, very, very cold, they're talking about minus 125
right now
degrees.
Just about this.
Right, I mean,
Extreme.
just imagine the type of panic attack you can have.
Extreme.
Like when you see folks on the Ferris wheel or roller coasters, and they I want to get off. Bro, you 145,000 miles from Earth. Where you going, dog?
Yeah, right.
They probably have somebody on there. Which one, I don't know, is the dedicated security.
Shot. They give that shot.
Who is security?
That's the Netflix he was talking about.
Who's the security man? Who's the security man? Is it the brother who's the pilot? Shout out to that brother, man, and shout out to the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma. We do not mention Phi Beta Sigma too often, with the Divine Nine. However, we must at this moment, because Phi Beta Sigma has an astronaut who is actually piloting the plane, the aircraft. So, how did this brother make it in spite of how did this brother despite the DEI stuff and Trump trying to get rid of anything to make it like this is.
That must be one impressive brother.
Gotta have even a woman or a man.
No, them times over. They ain't got.
Nah, bruh. Nah, that's what I'm saying, bruh. For him to,
It's a different frontier. You do that lawfully.
bruh, that was part. That was part of the mission. And his name is Victor Glover. Victor Glover is the name of the pilot. He's a member of Phi Beta Sigma. And I saw an interview with his father, which was real cool, where his dad basically was saying, hey, man, you have a degree in engineering and you become a pilot, you can become an astronaut. And talk about the pride, man, when you see, him. And then on top of that, Teddy, when they showed his family, he got a black family. Which was no, bro. Ain't no look at him. I'm talking about his spouse and his kids. That's what no. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Right, bro. Imagine, hey, bro. That ain't. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that about no NBA guys. You can't say that about no NFL guys. Like you about none of them. So.
They take their image likeness and sperm.
For sure. So brother, got his whole thing, and I just been fascinated by his story and the black astronauts who have come before him. And again, man, shout out to the D9. One astronaut, I believe, was a Kappa. Shout out to, brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. But most of the pilots, most of the astronauts have been brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Now, damn, I don't know why they haven't embraced that. You know what I'm saying? Because folks be like, members of Omega Psi Phi, they just known the grill. It's not a grill, fight, step. They go to school to pledge and drop out of class. And so, we go against them. We always say, most of all, we graduate, But, bruh, they can come back. Hey, how many astronauts y'all have? We got all these astronauts. I definitely.
Obama pledge?
No. Nah, no. To my knowledge, we've only had one brother of Alpha Phi Alpha who's been an astronaut. And he's from Miami. I met him down here in the Grove. We met him. We did an event maybe 15, 20 years ago. But from what I've seen, man, Omega Psi Phi, is leading the way. And then the AKAs had the first black female pilot. So since we talking about the AKAs, we got to go to Trick.
You got to go there.
We got to go to Trick. We got to go to Trick Daddy. We got to go to Trick Daddy. So it is. I love my K's. Woo. We all part of the first family. I love my K's. But right now they having to take it. And we starting to find out that the K's, are very thin skinned.
Oh yeah, the upper class.
They are very thin skinned right now, because we're like, who in their right mind booked Trick Daddy for the Southern Regional Convention,
dinner convention
in Orlando?
JT was there too,
and Luke.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean. So,
and I think that's why Trick Daddy did it.
That's why.
Trick Daddy did it because of the check. Believe you me.
I mean, but he went left. Because he was there with those two.
He did it for the check, and they went on different nights.
Oh yeah,
they went on different nights.
Right.
And Luke did not. Luke trolled Trick.
Right.
Whether or not Trick want to come and admit
it. Right.
But he trolled him. So I sent you some images. If you don't have them, you can Google it. It went viral. It's everywhere.
The thing was, Trick said, how many of the AKAs want to get their church eaten?
So, the cool thing, the cool thing about, what happened with Trick, bruh, is that, Trick is as petty. I would say Trick is top 3 petty. I would put 50 number 1. I would put 50 number 1, Soulja Boy number 2. I would say Boosie. I say 50 Boosie, Soulja Boy. I think Trick is top 5.
Let's put Trick
when it comes to
that's where it come up.
I would say Trick Daddy is top 5 when it comes to trolling.
There you go.
And Trick Daddy does not. You know what I'm saying? He don't care if it's your mama. He don't care if it's your grandma. He don't care who it is. He gonna call her a B. He gonna call her a H. He gonna call her all of that.
Whatever it is.
If anybody did a YouTube of Trick Daddies, if anybody saw Trick at Jazz in the Gardens, even at his symphony show, he do the same thing. He asked the ladies, look at the D. He say, look at the D.
There you go.
He that's him. That's him in Orlando. And that's what he does all the time. That's what it is.
That's it.
And so, to Trick's credit, he said, who did y'all think y'all was booking? Who y'all think y'all was booking? And he was like, I got the receipts. And when from what I saw, the people was enjoying the show. Look, they out there enjoying the show.
Yeah, it was just the people and the alumni in the back.
But from what I heard, as far as from the folks that I follow on social media, it was very consistent. From young to old, the folks was embarrassed for the people. Like, imagine, because when you talk about a regional convention, you're talking about Florida, Georgia.
Good old time.
Right. You talking about Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. And so you talking about people who have been, like we always give awards. And typically the awards at these conventions is who's been in it the longest. And usually you have some 50-year members.
Right? Than that.
So if you have a 50-year member, somebody that pledged, say, at 18, you're talking about senior citizens. Right? So pastors' wives, first ladies. And the thing is, the regional vice president, Miss Moore, who's the one who pulled the plug on Trick,
right,
and came on the mic, was like, we done went too far, shut it down. How did it get to that point? How did it get to that point? Now I'm gonna give you the other side of it. We do a lot of college shows. So when I'm negotiating contracts, with these colleges, sometimes we do like Catholic universities, sometimes we do like religious schools, sometimes we do folks and they say, hey, we want this type of show. We want a PG show. Those are things that's in there. And the ones, sometimes I push back. Flo is not like Flo is really on that. But, Flo has some records that, especially when he's performing with IMG All-Stars, they have some sketchy. They got some sketchy stuff where, they're talking this and that. But the main pushback that I get from Flo, is can't go out in the audience, can't bring anybody from the audience on the stage, and you can't, do champagne sprays, and you can't hand out alcohol. So, and then some people go even further than that, Teddy, and be like, because if you do that, we have the right to withhold X number of dollars, or we're not going to pay you the balance until the show is over. Blase, 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 squaze. And so in the negotiation process, I'm like, nah, whatever. Like even going to China. We going to China in September. So to go to China in September, we had to submit
all the songs,
our playlist,
right.
all the songs with all the lyrics. And they sent back saying, you can't perform these songs at all. Or if you perform these songs, you have to change the lyrics and then resubmit the lyrics that you're going to perform when you come over here. So to the AKA's point of view and what regional president or whatever they call themselves, Moore, who's the regional vice president of the sorority, she's basically saying, that's her down there at the bottom. That's Miss Moore.
And she's running for office.
Right. She's the clerk. She's the clerk of Orange County. Right. So she has she's a public official. Because when the Alphas had our regional convention in Orlando, and we have like the opening event where we bring all the D9 representatives in the place, she was one of the folks. So she's been in office, for a minute. So she's like, nah, we were very specific. We gave him a playlist. We gave him a playlist and said what he couldn't do or whatever. Now, what I heard Trick say, Trick said, can't nobody tell him
what to do.
Exactly. Which, again, during the negotiation phase, I don't know who negotiated the show. I don't know if that's Sean and Big Cheese who negotiated this particular contract for them. Man. But I don't think the AKAs would have said that. And I give, we been 1,000, so we always try to give the folks the full information. Like when I come in there and I negotiate one of these shows, like he had one this past weekend. Flo had one this past weekend in South Carolina, where in South Carolina it was a you can't do this, you can't do that, and then on top of that there was a request for it was like, oh, it's a cowboy theme. Can he perform one of his country records? Right? So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. Flo is around here touring, going every day. He's doing the same show that he does pretty much whatever city he goes to. It's up to me to tell Chronic when we book the show, hey, yo, Chronic, this the show right here where I need you to put the country record in there, because they got a whole hat, they got a whole presentation that's on that, and they want him to do My House at the end. Because when people book you, especially in a private setting, like we're not talking about arena where they come to see you do whatever, but if somebody book you for a wedding or somebody book you for something very, very specific, they had a right to ask. And when they do ask, you can't just give it no lip service, take their money, and then have the folks come in there and do something totally, go left.
I mean, I had the same situation with Luke and Pretty Ricky. You get those stipulations like, they can't grind, they can't take off their shirt, they can't, the girls can't get naked. And for Luke, he can't hear none of that because he's going to do it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And it's up to his people, whoever's booking his shows, and say, hey, bruh, this the amount. Because usually, if you're going to go and ask you to do something that you don't normally do, they're going to have to come with that cheese.
But we done already got the money. We done already got the money before he go do the show. So then when he go do the show,
the people haven't told him. The people haven't told him before they do the show. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he find out, when they say that nobody naked, nobody that, he like, everybody get naked. Everybody. It's best for him not to know, and then he'll you know what I mean? So that's what I call Luke. Luke was trolling Trick because he came on the weekend talking about,
I love the AKAs, how professional are they, sophisticated, they most beautiful, elegant, and everybody coming in there talking about Luke, out of all people, followed the rules.
Because he's going to now. He's running for Congress. He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing out of ordinary.
He say he followed the rules, man. So on that one right there, I say, man, just make sure, because there's a contract somewhere. And I doubt, because it's not what these people do. And you got to understand that. That's one of the worst things I hate, is you do a show like Jazz in the Gardens. You do a show where the people who you dealing with is not what they do every day. They do this once a year. And that once a year period or whatever, bro, it's like, bruh, it's like you done gave what?
Power trip, baby.
Bruh, you done gave somebody the whole thing, and they up in there, they controlling this, they not understanding entourages, not understanding like all that stuff, and particularly if it's not what you do, bruh. I hate dealing with people like a Christmas party, an office Christmas party where the boss lets his office manager be the point person on everything or whatever. And they're a medical billing company, or they're an energy drink company, or they some other stuff. But this person is the one that's sitting there calling all the shots, and that's on the stage and saying, "We don't want this, we don't want that," and they always run into problems. So
Reggie, the more restrictions, the more you up the price.
Yes,
hell yeah,
absolutely.
They got to.
Or tell them we're not going to do it, and usually they come back. And my compromise, like with schools, for instance, my compromise is usually, I would let y'all select the people that come on stage, so they can have more control. And it's all about liability. It's all about the control, and so that's usually the comeback. But if you just let it go and say, man, we just gonna take this bread and go or whatever, if you don't think, man, these folks ain't gonna turn around and sue you or try to hold your bread back, because I can't speak for Luke costs, I can't speak for Trick costs, but I know when you talking about flow costs, you talking about a house. You talking about you talking about a house.
And back then when them
people ain't playing.
When they was doing it, it was such a shocking, because Trick would cuss at radio shows.
Yeah, they
Chris would show up at radio shows. That's Trick Daddy.
First of all,
I mean,
I don't know as far as the brand. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority just had the lady who ran for president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I don't think the Kamala Harrises of the world want to be affiliated and associated with Trick Daddy.
I mean, I don't
even know. JT Money, which who we love, and Luke, who we love, that's consistent with their brand.
Right.
So for them to even do that and go there, what you thought, and that's what everybody in the audience said, what you thought was gonna happen? Trick Daddy, tell me when somebody been able to control Trick Daddy
at all.
That's his whole. That's his whole brand. His brand is I cannot be controlled.
That's it.
Can't control itself.
That's it. I mean,
that's his brand.
It's really. I'm talking about. I've experienced it. I got in trouble, because we be on the road and he don't want to go, and he'll pay all the money to buy the tickets for us to come back home. He got free tickets to the spot and back. He'll buy all the tickets for us to come back home because he don't want to go to the. And these was radio shows like the summer jams. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but he's always been like that. You know what I mean? Whatever mood he's going to be in, that's how he's going to be.
Yeah. So moving on, man. So as we enter into, unprecedented day, almost day 40?
What?
We're almost in day 40 of this excursion.
Quick walk.
3-hour tour.
Just a moment.
Just supposed to be a quickie.
We got air superiority. We got air superiority. We just fly at will. We go where we want to go, and then bam, a plane and a helicopter get down. Fortunately, we're able to rescue both crew members, the pilot and the gunner. We're able to rescue both of them. And, now Buddy just came in there just openly talking about committing war crimes, because per international law, you cannot bomb civilian infrastructure.
Right.
So you can't go out after the desalination, which is the water. You're talking about the Gulf region,
Right.
which is desert.
Right.
So the water that they, you can't threaten to go after the water supply. You can't take out the power. Like Buddy's in there just openly, like saying, he's saying, Buddy, and he did it on Easter, dog.
Yeah.
Buddy did it on Easter, man. Like, you talk about like the Pope's message. Like, you supposed to look at all the religious leaders' message on Easter, or what they have to do. Goodwill towards all men or whatever. Buddy came out there. See, these commentators, they need us, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
They need us, because they all here talking about, oh man, how nasty that was for him to come out there and tell him he's going to bomb him back to the Stone Ages and all this other stuff. You know what I would have done? You know what I'd have done, Teddy?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have put, because you know who he was trying to be? He was trying to be Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
When Mike Tyson came out and gave that thing, I want to eat your children. I want to hit you with another. And he was talking about, I'm the man. I'm the Mustafa. I'm the this. I'm the done. Praise be to Allah.
Right.
Right.
You're right. I see
That's
that.
what Trump was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody got that.
No.
Nobody got that he was doing the Mike Tyson.
That's
where
his
after
man.
you go out on your rant,
Right.
you end it with, peace be to Allah. They didn't get that at all. But I knew. I was with him.
Somebody showed it to me, and I was like, "Peace, what is Trump?"
Right. I had heard that since Mike Tyson, right?
God, what is he doing?
So Mike Tyson, Trump said he gonna bomb them back to the Stone Ages. I'm gonna bomb y'all back to the Stone Ages, bruh. Like, y'all ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Like this dude, I talked. This dude was on the thing, and he said what Trump is doing. He said, if everybody got to stop buying gas and everything from Iran, it's gonna make them have to come buy from America. This dude was talking about that on the other day. He was like, what if Donald Trump is right? What if what he's doing is right? What if he stops all the people, China and Russia have to, he said, because North America has plenty of oil. We captured Venezuela. They have oil. So now he's trying to change the tides. So now put a strangle on it. You know what I mean? To where they have no choice but to buy from America. And I was like, I know somewhere along the line there's an end point.
I'm not so sure about that, because what Iran is already offering everybody else, you just got to pay that toll.
Go on and get that.
Send that cash out. You send that cash out.
Send that cash.
Send that cash out, and then we just let y'all go right on through.
So, like, don't worry about them. Y'all good.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Just y'all gonna pass right on through. Right on through. Like, you got the Caribbean steel drums coming through. As like you approach the thing, and it's just like do coming through. Like, nah, y'all come on through. Come on through. Buddy ain't think this thing through, and he ain't think it through. And I'm gonna tell you how we know, based on what we have, this graphic we have up right now. You talking about more than 30 generals refused Trump's orders for a ground invasion of Iran.
I know he want to put them to death.
12 of them have been dismissed, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which was QC Brown, the brother, who he got rid of, before. But he just got rid of, and we can ask Step if you know the position that this guy had. No, we're not asking you none of the facts. We're asking you if you familiar with the position of the head of the general who is over, not the of the army, but they say he's the chief of staff. The general who is the chief of staff for the army. Like, what is his position versus a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or the person that's over the army? Like, because they're saying it's a big deal to the enlisted guys, because this is the guy that's. But I'm not familiar. I wasn't familiar with that position.
Sometimes when you certain levels, you become less military and more about you're a politician. Even though you're from the military, you
still wear the uniform, but you always you there every day. You just a guy with uniform with all the politicians every day.
Colin Powell was a politician.
He's a politician.
He's a politician. You can tell.
I mean, he's respected for his service,
right? For what he
but
did.
As far as your function in the military, you really don't have nothing.
So it sounds like that describes like who this guy was, because they were saying like the guy who there was like out of all the people who just that got forced to retire and whatnot, there was like this guy right here. It was like in the middle of a war. There was like this not the guy you take off, because it was
they
like
don't say nothing about they usually have no effect on the functioning of the military.
Right.
It's just usually just a representative.
That's all. Somebody say keep going that way.
Yeah,
they stride it.
They saying like this the guy. So whoever that is, whatever it is, but he got rid of him, and folks is just there's secret reports coming out, because they're saying some of these guys were leaking that Hexet, Secretary of War, formerly Secretary of Defense, is that who vowed to stop drinking and say, they sneaking out the Pentagon with disguises so they can go on these binges.
Oh my God.
But here's the story, that they're doing that to find leakers.
Oh, they're going deep undercover.
Right. Yes, they're going deep. They're going deep undercover. So we're here and we're at the bar, but we really are drinking ginger ale.
Right.
But it looks like we just downing them,
right,
so we can find out who's leaking, who the mole is. So you heard of that one. You plant false information, a false flag operation, so that it can come back, so you can find out. Cause this is how you do it. If I only tell the people in this room, Mike, Teddy, Step, a lie, and I know it's a lie, and I only told the three of y'all, and if it get out, then I know it's one of the three of y'all who did it. So that's what we dealing with right now.
That's more than 3-dimensional chess.
They on that 8-dimensional, bro. They on that 8-dimensional chess, and they saying that your boy Hexet, is in with some of the military contractors, and said, he done made some tens of millions.
Oh, come on, you know that.
Since all of this stuff been going on, bro.
You got to.
Like, man, bro.
You put another company together and say, hey, man, I'm going to make sure it was approved. Just send me my money.
Corey Lewandowski, man, is coming out, say his hands all over that $220 million. No bid contract that went to Christy Nome, got her on horsebacks, riding around, doing all these commercials, whatever. They set up a company in less than a month before they get a... Bro, imagine, bro, a company that gets $220-something million with no track record. No track record. You get a contract, no track record, and somebody about to send you 220 M's.
Yeah, that's what we living right now. They ready.
No track record, no bid contracts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no bid.
And they hated on Joe Biden selling.
At least he was selling art.
At least he was selling art.
At least he was selling art, bruh. At least he was selling art. You come in there and be like,
get $80 million.
Well, it look like somebody gonna like it. Somebody gonna like it. At least you got something to say. Yeah, I got a Hunter Biden original. You know what I'm saying? It's called crack.
Man.
Strip, man. When you start hearing those stories of, just going back to Hunter Biden, bro, you start hearing those stories talking about, Hunter Biden is at a strip club in D.C. Doing crack.
Like, it ain't cool.
You just like, nah, bro. There's no way.
He's proud of it too.
He's like, there's like no way. No way. But you know, sometimes we go to the South Satellite and we go to these satellites, and I'm in there and I'm like, this ain't no weed, right? This ain't no weed. So I look around. I look around at one of the OGs in there. He always telling how it is. He's like, somebody doing bunk. I'm like, what's that? He like crack over cigarettes or crack over. I'm like, whoa.
What's called it? You got what is called a cigarette. That's called a chopper. Cigarette and coke, and then bunk is just regular weed and coke. Crack and coke is like you really poor, and you doing crack and weed. Like I've never done crack and weed at all. You know,
You done crack before?
Yes, but not crack and weed.
Wow.
Yeah,
So I'm actually looking at a crack survival.
definitely.
And we from the same place, and it's like
I
grew up.
See, I did crack. Because my cousins was doing crack, and they was bad. So I would go over there with them and do it. I was still in high school. And
Shout out to
I would do it and stop at 5 o'clock and go home. Yeah, and then my cousin said, I called my girl to come pick me up at 5. So I got 2 of my
you the
cousins
second person.
off of it.
You the second person that I've known personally who have admitted to doing crack, and they still here.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't get it. Like the only thing that was, you are a genius for 4 minutes and 56 seconds. So that was one of my things I did to research.
I mean, so tell me, man, when you on crack, like what's the feeling? Because you hear about people say when they do crack, that first hit, you constantly chasing it. You trying to get back.
That's what I'm saying. For me, it made me a genius. So I would read. I'll go read, get my books, and I would read. And that's the only reason why I didn't do crack for the enjoyment of crack. It's like Adderall. I would say that.
So it didn't.
Adderall. So like Adderall. You ever seen Limitless?
With me, Teddy.
You ever seen Limitless?
You know our generation. Our generation is crack kill Applejack. You ain't grow up with that. Crack kills. Your mama's on crack. Your mama's on crack rock. Not my mama.
So I grew up with in the 70s. You know where?
But I'm older than you.
No, I'm older than you actually by 3 months.
I'm 1970.
I'm 2. Remember your birthday's in November. Mine's in October.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So in 2 months, you know more about crack. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I mean, and we both preachers' sons. That's the dopest things too. But I wasn't raised with my father, so I was wide open. You know what I mean?
Right. I heard a recording from President Biden calling his son, bro. It was one of the saddest calls I ever had. It was like, you know, somebody captured it, probably Netanyahu, because Netanyahu had the goods on everybody. But it was Joe Biden calling Hunter. He say, how you doing, champ? You know, he leaves a message like, how you doing, champ? He's like, yeah, man, I don't know what you're going through, but whatever it is, you know, I just wish you can get out of it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We love you. So when I remember when he was running in 2020, and Trump was like, you know, your son's a crackhead, it was the vice presidential debate. He was still with Obama, and they was like, yo, your son's a crackhead and this and that. And then he was like, don't say nothing about my son. Don't say nothing. Hunter is off limits. Like, I will beat your ass right now for talking about Hunter. You know, Joe was a bad guy before, like, you know, dementia or whatever he has just took him over, man. So, yo, Marco Rubio is get the gangster of the year. So this photograph, and y'all can thank us later. You know, to my brothers and sisters at TGK, pretrial, Metro West, and Federal Detention Center for this young lady that's up. She is the daughter of the guy we been killed.
First guy.
Remember we been killed, Hamadeh Soleimani,
right?
Who was the head general in Iran. He was the one we killed. And they vowed revenge. They vowed revenge, but then only, you know, they got them to change it up and say, okay, they just shot a couple missiles, but they didn't blow the whole load.
Mm-hmm.
They just was like, yeah, okay, but then it was like, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. So his daughter is in L.A. living super fly, totally against, how they do it. But you would get stoned to death if you showing that in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
If she was like this in Iran, bro, in a
done.
bathing suit, they would literally kill her on the streets. They would rock her. They would throw rocks at her until she dead. Right. So your boy Marco, but at the same time, she's become an influencer. So she over in the U.S.
Just doing it.
She over in the U.S. and she's like living her best life, but her part-time job is to send out all kind of Iranian propaganda and all that stuff like that. So your boy Marco Rubio was like, oh yeah, he tore up her visa. He ripped up her visa and he like, get out. You got to clear it. You got to clear it. So that's, I'm with that. I'm with, right? Yeah. If you going to be over here, you're a guest.
Yeah.
When you over here,
living the freedom.
You a guest.
You over here with you naked.
Yeah.
You over there living,
you a guest. So the vow of modesty and all that you're supposed to have when you outside, she over here living it up, doing all this other stuff. They like, get up out of here. So it's like, hey, you going to do that? You're out of here. So and I'm with that.
Rubio being petty.
I like that though. Yeah. See, he started doing that. I don't like he started doing that with the students. Remember when like in Columbia when they was taking over the campus and all that stuff like that. He was like, hey, these students over here to come and then they the ones leading the rallies. What, man, get up out of here. I'm with that. I'm with that, bro. I'm with that.
Because they're all being like they got the group that Charlie Chris got, like, FIU, they had the same, the football players was being stuff about them, and these groups that Charlie Chris created where they spread that doctrinate. Some people don't got nothing else to think.
All right. I specifically for you, Teddy. This Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
Gucci Mane and
Pooh
Shiesty. So Pooh Shiesty, first of all, his catalog has ballooned. It has exploded. Now, will he be able to take advantage of that? Is he gonna come up out of that? So the authorities are saying that Gucci Mane is not cooperating. If Gucci Mane does not cooperate, and you're talking about an incident that occurred in January, but he wasn't arrested until April. So with him already being out on in a halfway house, still technically under federal custody,
right?
They'll come and scoop you up for less. If y'all remember when T.I. first got out, it was on the reality show, and his wife, bro, it wasn't even friends or the label or nothing like that. His wife pulled up to the prison with a party van, a party Sprinter, to pick him up, and Buddy was in within the week. They was like, oh but we ain't about to do that. Buddy was in within a week. Not saying that he committed any kind of crime. Just not liking the way she pulled up on him. To my we ain't about to do this. And so you talking about Buddy just getting to the crib after, he got the case in Florida, right? After going to serve a little time in Florida for what? Robbing the guy that he's supposed to be buying these shoes from over in not Bal Harbor, but near Bal Harbor, between Bal Harbor and Sunny Isles. That community right there. I forget the name of it right now. No, it wasn't Miami Shores. It's on the beach. It's right. Bal Harbor is like 125th and Collins,
right?
And Sunny Isles is 168th,
right?
And Collins. It's a area right in between Bay Harbor. I think it's Bay Harbor.
Yeah.
But
and Pooh Shiesty, you know, so all these guys, they get with Gucci or Gotti, you know, because Gucci and Gotti got beef.
right.
So
And so you go and get somebody from Memphis. So it's like, I done got somebody. I done got one of your, and I done got me. Everybody know that, Pooh Shiesty's had a reputation. I saw a video of Pooh Shiesty as a juvenile with an ankle monitor on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if that's AI, but
that's real.
I saw an ankle monitor on this kid.
His dad's supposed to be a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his dad is involved.
Right.
Oh.
His dad. They said his dad is the one that set up the meeting with and got the studio and booked the studio, and it was like, because Pooh Shiesty was on fire, basically saying for all the other artists from 1017 who are no longer affiliated with 1017 but still signed, they basically saying that Gucci Mane was just using Pooh Shiesty, and they end up using it against Gucci, saying, oh yeah, Gucci gonna go down to this studio to get 3-4 records out of Pooh Shiesty because Pooh Shiesty hot. And so Gucci hadn't really been on no record. What's the last record you remember, Gucci being on? Like, I don't know, because
him and Sexy Red got a record. He just dropped a
How
whole
long
new
ago?
album. He dropped the album about 3 months ago. Voices, a bunch of different records.
Yeah, I haven't heard not one.
Yeah, he just
I haven't heard one.
It's not like no
I haven't heard.
bangers.
I haven't heard one.
No bangers at all.
That's a banger, and I haven't heard one that's played in the club.
The biggest record that he dropped recently was him and Sexy Red. That's the biggest record that he dropped.
And I haven't heard that. But so that's Pooh Shiesty's dad, and so they basically saying that, and the mom, bro. I saw an interview with the mom, bro, and the mom sitting there with a bottle of Ace of Spade. I sent that to you still. I don't know if you have, but the mom's sitting there. We can't even hear what she's saying because she cussing so much. But mom is sitting there with a bottle of Ace of Spades, talking about she 100. Like, I don't know how many times she said she 100. She's like, man, I'm 100. 100, and alleging that Gucci owed the man 25 million, or that they made 25 million, and he didn't get any of that. And they there for whatever they there for.
That's that Chingy Ludacris concert, that contract. That that's how both times when Chingy came out with Ludacris, they did the same thing, took all of his money. But but that's what I'm saying. It's like, remember when Bird was trying, with Ross, and Ross took him shopping. That was the time when Trick and Ross. That's the same thing. It's like Gucci went and got Pooh Shiesty, because he was one of them people. He's like, yeah, like how you just said. And it's like, he ain't doing nothing with them because, he done made all the money off of everybody that he done had that came up out of Georgia. Like, Gucci really broke most of the artists from Georgia that been popping, especially in the beginning. He had them in the beginning between them and Miss Deb Walker's mother. So, but just Gucci and Gotti just have this thing, so it's like it's in between. And Pooh Shiesty, when he went to jail for the first time, like all of his records just banging. Like he got a bunch of records, so he definitely came up. And then now he about to drop. It's like how when YF and Lucci come home now, them tours be crazy. Everybody want to come out.
Wow. And then the sad story, man, about Mateo Bowen.
Oh man, yeah.
Vice Mayor of Coral Springs, bruh, and the alleged number one suspect is the husband. And so I went on this Facebook page, bruh. Let me give y'all some free game. Let me give you some free game. Before you do anything or think of doing some stuff, take a look at your page. Because people gonna see. Bruh, is that not only do they have him at the shooting range like multiple times, but they had him going through like exercises, like running and shooting, like going through. But bruh, if you ever gonna kill somebody and it's not in self-defense, or you're an officer or a time of war, you might not want to have yourself running around with bows and arrows killing live boars, wild boars. That's, oh boy, I didn't even know black people did that, you know, outside of Tennessee, or, you know, guys out in the you know,
in the middle of Central
in the
Florida.
middle somewhere like that, or
Central
whatever,
Florida.
where we had many of our guys out there, you know, doing that. But Buddy's out there killing wild boars with his bare, you know, with you know, not shooting them, but like running up on them.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? Like running up on them.
That's serious right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, intimidating. And then the brother that they have in the back, the speculation is the brother that they just had on the back, who's also a commissioner from Coral Springs. The allegation is that he couldn't take it no more, meaning that his wife, who was like on the come up, you know, supposedly she was announcing a run for Congress in that same seat that Luke, Rudy Moise are running for. You know, Sheila Sheffless McCormick and Dale Holness running for that seat, and saying that, you know, she's spending all this time with her political advisor and he just couldn't take it no more. So, you know, looking to see the type of dude he is, look like he done probably did surveillance and done seen like something he didn't want to see, and I heard something he didn't want to hear, and just was like, boom. Because here's the final allegation. The final allegation is that he was sleeping downstairs. Like, you got a dead body in your crib, and you still in the house.
How many days was she? How many?
A few days.
What?
You know, a few days, and then they asked that you know, they conduct a wellness check.
Right, that's why they went to the house. Right?
They went to the house for, you know, for a wellness check, bro. And so we always say, you know, shout out to Lenny Williams, bro, who made that song. It's gonna be relevant as long as there are opposite sexes in existence. Somebody's always gonna feel like ain't nobody been in love like they been in love. You know, I don't want no love like that, Teddy. I don't want no love like that, bro.
Oh,
I don't want no love that's gonna make me
have to hurt.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? I have been hurt before. I have been hurt before, in a sense that you didn't know why, you know, this person, because you feel like you're not enough. You feel like, what did you do wrong? You feel like whatever emotions, I've felt that way. But what I've always done, you know, in those few occurrences, I go on your first thing I do is on my phone, I delete your number. So I can't call you even if I want to. So that's the first thing that I do for myself. I don't want to call you when you know, because if I can just hit the, you know what I'm saying? If I can just hit your name and then call you, you know what I mean? Like, in those vulnerable periods, you may be like, you know, what you doing, or you see something and you like, it reminds me of you, or it reminds me of us, or whatever. Bruh, I'm that dude, you know, when he's like, hey, we're done. I said, I just need to know. You know, that's why I'm usually not the one that says it's over, even when I'm like, it can be over, or I see that we coming to the end, because once I say it's over, when those words come out of my mouth that we done, then I'm deleting your number. I can't call you even if I want to call you. So, you know, just can't do nothing but pray, man. They was newlyweds. I think they've been married less than 3 years. And you know, she was an environmental scientist, bruh. You know, like, I mean, what more can you think? What better qualification can you think of for somebody that's in West Broward, near the Everglades, and a African American, well, Haitian American female on top of that? You know what I mean? How proud her family had to be of her. You know what I mean? And the fact that she had the requisite skills to be like, you know, talking about preservation, environmental concerns. You know how far she could have gone potentially? She had a lot of potential to be, you know, where we are today, man. So you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Like person on, you know, on social media, and they showing out on social media. They're on social media, boy, and you like, man, I want their life. I want their life. And I can only imagine how many people who saw them was like, man, I want their life. You know, and nice crib. You know what I'm saying? Big house. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just the two of them, bruh.
Yep.
You like, wow, man, they done made it. Not knowing, like,
inside
he's
going crazy.
You know, he tormented inside. Like, damn, I'm not enough. Which is one of those things, man, when you dealing with ambitious women. That's why you have some men who like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my woman to work. I want my woman to stay in the house and just come in here and just be here at the crib because they feel like if it's that they're threatened by outside guys. You know, and I've seen that when it comes to, you know, I remember when I went to law school. I remember like going all the way back to law school, and like now you have more females in law school than you do men. But I remember at this time, you talking about in the early 90s, where you have like all these women. And I was at UM, bro, and I remember some of the female law students, man, who had guys who were on the Hurricane football team. You know, now I'm thinking like, okay, they in grad school, but they out here, you know, looking at these guys that's or grabbing these guys that's teenagers or early 20s because they looking to, you know, link up with these guys and hope that they, you know, end up making it. Everybody didn't make it. Everybody didn't make it. And so some of these dudes who latched on but didn't, you know, get a professional career, and they end up, you know, going to get a regular job, it end up being sometimes abusive.
Domestic abuse.
End up being abusive because, you know, the woman come in there like, you can't say nothing to me. And then the dude is like, you round them bougie people. Or you ride them all the time. I remember when I'm the one that got you, took you to get your hair done. Remember you know what I mean? I'm the one that get you glammed up. I'm the one that put you in the game. And now all of a sudden, I ain't enough for you. I ain't enough for you, whatever. And it's tough. It's tough to have a woman that's the breadwinner. It's tough to have a woman that make more money than you do. Like, you got to be very, very, very sure of yourself, you know, in your own skin, you know, and you also got to watch, you know, the women.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't